So I guess in the defense of my friends in New York, it was really the attorney before that came that gave him no choice. And that's kind of where he was like, hey, she's in, I can't get her out. And he did recognize the ridiculousness of it, in all fairness. So that was really the challenge, but there was no mercy. And there were things we could have done.
Right.
So that's just sad. So that's the part that's really sad. And that's why you got to really think about protecting yourself all around. But I would say it's like, but protecting yourself doesn't mean, keeping all your eggs in one basket, right?
No, that diversifying is a way of protecting yourself, because if things go wrong, within the United States, Canada, Germany, like wherever our listeners are, that the government can kind of go after what's in that country. It makes it a lot harder, and I'm not talking like we're doing, like everything that I do is legal. So if you
Of
have a
course.
corporation in another country, it's legal. You still file your taxes, even in a no tax country, you still file because the government makes sure you're doing legal things. But you don't have to be worried about the auditing. You don't have to worry about somebody suing you just because they need to make money and they're just looking for people to sue who have a lot of assets, or the government coming after you. I mean, there's so many things.
Okay, another perfect example of this. Another perfect example. So when you own a foreign corporation, you don't file a corporate return. You file a report of a shareholder's report of foreign ownership in a corporate return, even if you're 100% owner. The form is Form 5471. I'm sure you're probably filing them of yourself. So your Form 5471. Now, this is the thing that we found out, and it was actually one of my attorneys who moved on to a different firm. He's now working for larger companies than the smaller clients that we had. We were representing individuals. So he called me up, and this was last year. He goes, Anthony, you're not going to believe this. I said, what's that, Robert? He goes, so we have a bunch of corporate clients who kind of pretty lackadaisical about getting their 5471s in, and they're under exam. And the examiner's like, yeah, whenever you get a chance, if you can get that in, we'd really appreciate that. And the reason why that's odd is because what Robert was used to was all the people who attached that 5471 to their individual return. The treatment when it's on that 1040 is like, where is that? We're going to penalize you immediately. We're going to give you the continuation penalty. We're going to keep on. This is not substantially. They go all the way. The difference is night and day, depending on what that form is attached to. And that's why, you really want to get things off. Anything, have your 1040 as simple as possible. We're like, oh, hey, look, okay, I didn't report some, small amounts, whatever that is.
Right.
That's your best thing. And get your complicated stuff onto business tax forms, and that's just the way to go for long-term health and well-being.
Right. And I think, though, too, what people don't also realize is with even just having corporations, whether they choose to do locally or internationally, when we think of taxes, different states in the US charge different taxes, different countries around the world charge different amounts. There's not just like, people will say, well, where's the best place to go? And I say, well, I don't know. Like, I need to know about your business. I need to know about what you want to do, right? Some people I've talked to, they want to stay within the states, and it's like, okay, well, great. Then you look at states that will do best for you. But also, just as a point, especially with technology and where we're going, and a little bit of the scary part of AI, there's great things with AI, but there's some scary stuff with it too that we need to be concerned about, is identity theft. Right? If you have everything tied up in the country that you live in, your corporation, all of your bank accounts and things like that, if you get into a situation where somebody steals your identity, all of that stuff is tied up, and it could be hard to even just access your money. So having another bank account, if you're from the US, even just in Canada, or if you go down to Mexico, or you travel to Europe quite a bit, just having that additional bank account in another country can help you if something goes wrong. And if not, great, you have another bank account that you can use for your travels, to save up, to buy something, whatever it may be.
Absolutely. And I can tell you that is fantastic advice. From my experience of handling these things, what a great insurance policy. That you're diversifying your risk. That's what we're taught, that's what we're taught. In finance portfolio, diversify that risk. It's free money. It's free, it really is when you do that. So why wouldn't you do that? And you could pay bills in the US from a Canadian bank account.
Mhm.
Push it.
And
Yeah.
sometimes with currency, it's great because if you know, like I don't trade currency, but sometimes you're lucky that, oh, one currency drops, one goes up. Great, my money's worth a little bit more as well. And lots of things like so I'm in Canada or come from Canada. So I have a Canadian bank account. I'm living in Europe. So I've got a couple European bank accounts in different countries, but I also have an account that's in US dollars because 95%
There
of
you
the
go.
stuff that I buy online is in US dollars. And sometimes I get paid US dollars. So for me, to get paid in US dollars to go into my Canadian bank account, which then automatically gets changed into Canadian funds. And then if I buy something in US dollars, gets automatically changed back into US dollars. And then if I
Nice.
send it back so I'm losing money because I'm paying an exchange. And then if I return something that I bought, they return it at their return rate. So it still costs me money to return something as well on top of both exchanges. And it's just a crazy loss of money. So
Yeah.
it's, if you're not in the US, there's online bank accounts that you can so you can put money in, and I just think it's better because
There is
they
also,
fees you. There's so many fees for
yeah, and there's
everything.
also, oh no, that is you. There is but this is actually U.S.